Okay. Okay, I think everybody can hear me now. Am I audible to you? Yeah, fine. Okay, without any delay, we'll start our today's class. And for the past few days, I couldn't take the class regularly due to some sort of technical inconvenience and all. Okay, so hereafter, I assure you that I can take the class regularly. Okay, and I want you to make sure that there might be a possibility that I can change the class timings. Okay, in the morning time, it will be like around 6 to 7 like that. Okay, between 6 to 7. Okay, so is that okay for you? And if you find any difficulties in attending the classes in the morning time, let me know. Okay, but mostly I wish to take the class at the morning time, because during night time there will be a lot of disturbances. So to avoid the irregular of classes, so I have to shift the class timing. So if you find any difficulties, let me know. Okay, but for me it is good to take a class during the morning time, just to avoid the skipping of classes, right? Okay, fine. For today's class we are going to discuss about the digestive system. Okay, so before that, as usual, I'm going to explain you the concept first. So what are all the organs are involved in the process of digestion? First thing will be the mouth. Okay, here where exactly the digestion is getting started. So you should not think that digestion will be started only in the stomach and small intestine and all. It's because the digestive enzymes which is also present in the mouth. Okay, so you have to know that 30% of digestion has been completed within the mouth itself if we chew properly. Okay, only if we chew properly, 30% of digestion has been completed within the mouth itself. So, see, if you didn't chew properly, the digestion has been taking place in the small intestine and stomach, obviously. The extra workload has been added to all these organs. Okay, if you chew properly here in the mouth, it will be reduced of work. Okay, a decrease in work when it comes to stomach and intestine. So the first thing will be the mouth, where exactly the digestion has been started. That is nothing but a chewing. It is called as a mechanical digestion. So in mouth we can find two types of digestion itself. So that is mechanical digestion and chemical digestion. In case of mechanical digestion, what is the thing will be used here means teeth. Okay, in case of the chemical digestion, there will be an involvement of an enzymes, that is nothing but a salivary amylase. Also, I want you to make sure what will be the pH of all these enzymes. Okay, that will be your duty to read all those pH of these particular enzymes. So the next organ will be the esophagus. See, the mouth muscular tube. This is the tube which connecting the mouth to the stomach, through which the food can flow. Passage of the food through from the mouth to the stomach. Okay, it is a connecting point, and now it is the one transporting the food to the stomach to the movement called as the peristaltic movement. So you should know one important thing regarding this peristalsis process. Even if the person is an upside down, which means what? Here will be the head and here will be the leg, right? Even if the person is in upside down, the food will not come to the mouth. It will prevent the backflow. Okay, even if the person is in upside down, the food will be moved from mouth to esophagus, esophagus to stomach, stomach to the small intestine, and small intestine to the large intestine. Okay, this is what a process of peristalsis is, just a muscular movement. Okay, now stomach, it is a muscular sac-like organ. Here also a mechanical digestion is also taking place and chemical digestion is also taking place. And in case of mechanical digestion, that process is said to be as the churning process. And in case of chemical digestion, obviously it will be the involvement of an enzyme. And what will be the enzymes and what will be an important chemical involved in the stomach digestion? That will be nothing but a gastric juice, and this juice consists of many enzymes, and pepsin is a protein involved in the process of digestion. Hydrochloric acid plays a crucial role in the process of digestion. Okay, now small intestine, and here how it will be look like, it will be a long coiled tube. And what are all the three parts of this small intestine means? Duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. These are all the three important points where we can find these parts in the small intestine. Okay, now what will be the digestion here taking place is, chemical digestion, and also absorption of nutrients. Chemical digestion and absorption is taking place in the small intestine. Now, what is the enzyme involved in the process of digestion when it comes to the small intestine? Pancreatic enzymes. We see amylase is an enzyme seen in case of saliva also, and in the pancreas also. If the amylase present in the saliva, we can call them as the salivary amylase. In case it will be found in the pancreas, means we are calling them as the pancreatic amylase. Okay, and lipase. Proteases. Proteases is the enzyme involved in breaking the proteins into amino acids, and lipase is an enzyme. They are involving in digesting or breaking the lipids into the fatty acid and glycerol, and amylase is regarding the carbohydrates into the simpler sugars. Now, bile. These bile acids, bile sugars, and bile salts, these are all the things are getting secreted from the liver or the gallbladder. Also, make sure that what will be the name of the ducts arise from all these organs. If the duct coming out from the liver, we are calling them as the bile duct. Okay, or we can say the hepatic duct. So you should know that what is bile duct, what is hepatic duct, what is cystic duct, okay, and what is cystic duct, all these things. Okay, through these ducts, all these secretions will be passing from the liver and gallbladder, from the pancreas to the small intestine. At last, it has to reach the small intestine. Now, also there will be a lot and lots of intestinal enzymes is also there. Now, and liver, we know that liver will be the largest organ. When we compare to the entire organ in our human body, liver secures a major portion, that will be around 1.5 kg. Okay, now this is the one going to produce a bile. Okay, now it also processes the nutrients, and the secretion of bile from the liver, it is getting stored in the gallbladder. And what is the purpose of having the gallbladder? It is a small sac under the liver. It is the one stores and concentrates the bile. Okay, the only thing which storing the bile will be the gallbladder, none of the other organs. Now, pancreas. This is the gland, we know that, which is present behind the stomach, and they are also involving in producing a digestive enzymes, and this is also involving in the blood sugar. We have three different types of cells. We know that alpha, beta, and gamma cells, and alpha cells will be glucagon and producing the hormone called glucagon. Beta cells will be an insulin, and gamma cells will be the somatostatin. So these are all the cells. These are all the cells involving producing sugar, and that particular insulin will be maintaining the blood sugar. Okay, alpha and beta cells. Now, pancreatic juice is also getting secreted from the pancreas, and what these juice actually contains: pancreatic amylase, lipase, proteases, insulin, and glucagon. So these are all the things secreted by the pancreas. Now, what are the role played by the large intestine? This will be a wider tube. See, we have studied that duodenum, jejunum, ileum. These are all the parts are from the small intestine. Cecum, colon, and rectum. These are all the parts of the large intestine. So the large intestine are involving more crucially regarding the with respect to the absorption. Okay, this is the one absorbing water and electrolytes from the extract coming out from the small intestine. So as a result, all the waste will be stored as a fecal matter, and it will be eliminated from the body. And what is the function of the rectum? This is the final section of the large intestine, right? This is the one storing the fecal matter, okay, as a temporary storage. Okay, now what is anus? This is an opening at the end of the digestive tract. So mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and anus. So these are all the things we are comprisingly called as the digestive tract, okay, or alimentary canal. So this is the one expelling the fecal matter from the body. Okay, now these are all the parts of the part of a structure involving in the process of digestion. Now, I want you to remember the enzymes. Okay, what are all the enzymes involved in the process of digestion, and what will be their source, which is secreting which enzyme, and what exactly they are going to breaking off as a result of breakdown, what they are going to produce, and where exactly the enzyme will be acting on. Now, first enzyme will be the salivary amylase. It will be secreted by the salivary glands, and this is the enzyme which is involving in breaking the carbohydrate, that is starch. And if we break the starch, we are getting the starch will be a polysaccharide. When we break this we can get the disaccharide, and from disaccharide to the monosaccharide, right? And where exactly the salivary amylase is getting activated means in the mouth region. And pepsin is an enzyme. It is secreted by the chief cells in the stomach. They are going to break down a protein, and they are going to produce peptides by breaking a protein. And their site of action will be the stomach. And gastric lipase, as the name suggests, this lipase is an enzyme going to break down a triglyceride into the fatty acid and glycerol. And gastric juice, this definitely the source will be the stomach, and they are going to produce fatty acid and glycerol. Now pancreatic amylase, it is getting secreted from the pancreas, and they are going to break the starch. As a result, they are going to get maltose and dextrins by breaking the starch. And where is their role of action will be the small intestine, particularly the duodenum. And trypsin, once again, it is from the pancreas. Trypsinogen will be an inactive form, and trypsin will be the activated form of the trypsinogen. Okay, so they are going to break down break a protein and peptide, and as a result they are going to give a smaller peptide and amino acids. And once again, their site of action will be the small intestine, particularly the duodenum. And once again, chymotrypsin. So these are all an important pancreatic enzymes, and this is also once again a pancreas, and this will be an inactive form of the chymotrypsinogen, which is an inactive form. Once again, they are going to break down a protein and peptides. The same result will be happening, the same site of action. Now, carboxypeptidase, once again, a pancreas, they are also going to break down a peptide. As a result, we are going to get an amino acids. And once again, the small intestine will be their site of action. Same thing, pancreatic lipase, same thing. And nucleases, they are also secreted by the pancreas, and they are going to break the nucleic acids. As a result, we are going to get a nucleotides. And maltase, they are going to see maltase, sucrase, lactase, peptidases, enterokinases, dipeptidase. These are all the enzymes secreted from the small intestine, particularly the brush border cells of the small intestine. So maltase, it is the one going to break the maltose. Sucrase, it is going to break the sucrose, and lactase will be going to break the lactose. When we break the maltose, we are going to get a glucose and glucose. And if you break the sucrose, we are going to get a glucose and fructose. If we break the lactose, we are going to get a glucose and galactose. So the end result is also an important thing. Definitely they are going to acting in a small intestine only. And in peptidases, they are going to break a peptide, and as a result we are getting an amino acid. Enterokinase, this will be going to break a trypsinogen. See, enterokinase will be acting on the trypsinogen. See, trypsinogen is an inactive form of the trypsin. Trypsin will be the active form, and to convert this inactive form of trypsinogen into the active form of trypsin, there will be a need of an enzyme that is called as the enterokinase, which is present in the small intestine. Okay. Now, dipeptidases, it is going to make the dipeptides. Okay. And as a result, we are going to get a simpler amino acid. Okay. Now, see, carbohydrates. Now, this is all the things involved in the process of digestion. From here, we are going to study about the absorption, where exactly these carbohydrates are getting absorbed. See, for absorption, maximum number of absorption will be taking place in the small intestine, particularly in the duodenum and jejunum. See, this monosaccharides will be getting converted, broken down into glucose, fructose, and galactose. See, the polysaccharide will be broken into the monosaccharide by an enzymes, like we have studied these enzymes. And now, see, these monosaccharides, as these glucose, fructose, and galactose, they are getting absorbed by an enterocyte. See, these absorption are getting transported actively, which means what? See, active transport means definitely for these absorption, we are in need of an enormous amount of energy. Okay, see, active transport we are getting, and see, we are absorbing this glucose and galactose actively, and fructose will be absorbed passively, or we can say the facilitated diffusion. Doesn't need any of the energy for this absorption, so you have to make a note of it. See, transported to the liver. When anything has to be transported into the liver or getting out from the liver, definitely there will be an involvement of the vein. That is nothing but a hepatic portal vein, where they are further processed and stored or distributed. So this is regarding the absorption of carbohydrates. Now, coming to the absorption of proteins, once again will be happening in the small intestine, particularly the duodenum and jejunum. See, these proteins are getting transported, breakdown into the amino acids. Now, all these enzymes involved in this breakdown will be the pepsin, trypsin, chymotrypsin, and peptidases. See, now these amino acids is also absorbed by the enterocytes. Enterocytes are actually nothing but these are all the cells present in the intestine. The word entero, it is always related to the intestine, and cytes will be the cells. Now here it is also actively transport, and it is also getting diffused facilitated diffusion. Now how it will be transported into the liver? Once again from the hepatic portal vein. Now see, all these will be transported into the liver for further metabolism and distribution. Okay, so the absorption is also followed by the further metabolism also. So you should know that. Now, lipids, once again, the same thing will be, and this lipid is also getting divided into or broken down into fatty acid and monoglycerides. Once again, it is an important thing you have to remember this. See, once again, this fatty acids and glyceride is nothing but a monoglyceride. It will be absorbed by the enterocytes. See, this reassembled into a triglyceride and packed into the chylomicrons. Just to make a note of it. Only it has been packed into a chylomicrons, it will be dispersed to all other parts of the body. Okay, and this will be transported into the lymphatic system, not through the blood system, not by the blood vessels, because this chylomicrons will be little bit in a bigger in size. It cannot be transported to the bloodstream. Okay, once it has been transported to the blood system, and then only it has been reached the bloodstream. Why? Because this chylomicrons is little bit bigger in size. For that, it has been carried initially by the lymphatic system. Only then it will be delivered to other tissues. Right? Now, vitamins. How vitamins are getting absorbed? See, when it comes to the water-soluble vitamins, that is vitamin B and C. See, you should not forget that water soluble vitamin and fat soluble vitamin. Water soluble uh, vitamin B and C. You should remember the word WBC so that it will be very easy for you to remember. You can't forget this. Water soluble vitamin B and C, WBC. Okay, all other things will be coming under fat soluble vitamin. Now, these water-soluble vitamin will be once again absorbed from the small intestine, and more precisely duodenum and jejunum. And these water-soluble vitamin is absorbed via the simple diffusion as well as the active transport. And this fat-soluble will be absorbed along the dietary fats. And this water soluble will be directly transported to the bloodstream, and this fat soluble will be incorporated, which means what? It will be assembled to the chylomicrons, and it has been transported to the lymphatic system. Only then it has been reached to various tissues. You have to know all these minor differences. Now, these fat soluble vitamins are stored in liver and adipose tissue. And water soluble vitamins, it is not stored extensively. There is no point of having these water soluble vitamins to store. Okay. Now, minerals, how they are getting absorbed? Definitely in the small intestine, it is almost all parts of small intestine will going to absorb the minerals. Now, this absorption will be actively transport and facilitated diffusion, passive diffusion. All that means of transport are involving here. Now, it is directly transported into the bloodstream. Okay, as it is in smaller in size. Now, once again, it will be stored in the bones and livers. And water, once again, it will be mainly in the, not in the duodenum, but in the jejunum and ileum, and also in the large intestine. Okay, and this will be absorbed through the osmosis. There is no point of having an active transport. Okay, it will be transport through the simple diffusion or passive diffusion. Okay, just from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. Now, it is transported directly to the bloodstream. Now, it maintains the fluid balance excreted via the kidneys. Now, how these electrolytes are getting transported? The small intestine and large intestine, they are going to involve vigorously in absorbing the electrolytes, that too in the active transport and facilitated diffusion. It directly transported to the bloodstream. There is no point of involvement of chylomicron here. Okay. Now, see, this is the one regulating the nerve muscle function and maintaining the acid-base balance and also the hydration status. So that's all about the concept. So now coming back to the questions, just answer for this question. We have 15 more minutes. So answer quickly, we'll finish it soon. Okay. What enzyme in saliva breaks down the starch? Very good. That will be an amylase enzyme. Now, which organ stores bile? Which organ stores bile? Whether it will be the liver or it will be the gallbladder. See, these bile will be synthesized or produced by the liver, but it is actively getting stored in the gallbladder. Okay, so you should know that the name of bile pigments. Okay, why the fecal matter or it will be looking in this color, and why the urine will be looking in this color. All these color will be pigmented by these pigments, that is bile pigments. Okay, so what is the name of the bile pigment? We have two different bile pigments. One is bilirubin and biliverdin. Okay, so these are all the bile pigments. And all these bile pigments will be stored in the gallbladder, but will be synthesized by the liver. Okay, no point of having a confusion here, right? Now, and they are involved in the fat digestion, that is lipid digestion. Okay, and what is the primary site of nutrient absorption? Nutrient will be absorbed more in which organ? Nutrient will be absorbed vigorously in. Always when it comes to the absorption, you have to know that it always related to the small intestine. Only when it comes to the water and electrolytes, large intestine comes into a picture. So all of the things major. So one more question: where exactly an exclusive digestion is taking place? Where an exact phenomena of digestion is taking place, or we can say where the maximum amount of digestion is taking place, whether in the stomach or small intestine or in large intestine. That will be in the small intestine. So that will be an important thing you have to keep in mind. It is not in the stomach. See, actually, what is the point of having a stomach here means it is a temporary holder of a food. Okay, it is a temporary holder of the food. That's all. So, but the digestion will be crucially happen only in the small intestine. Okay. Now, absorption is also like that, because what is an important structure having in the small intestine will be the villi, that is microvilli, where exactly the absorption is taking place. Which enzyme is responsible for protein digestion in the stomach? Protein digestion. That will be the pepsin. It is the one breaking down the protein into peptides. What is the role of hydrochloric acid in stomach? What is the role of hydrochloric acid in the stomach? Very good. See, this is the one activates the pepsinogen into the pepsin. Okay, only because in this particular pH, the pepsin is getting activated. That is why the presence of hydrochloric acid is important in case of stomach. Okay, and this pepsin is further involved in the digestion of protein. So it is very mandatory to have these enzymes. What are all the finger-like projections in the small intestine called? Finger-like projections in the small intestine. That is the one involved in the absorption. And what is this rage? What is rage? Rage is nothing but a folding. Okay. Rage is not a stomach, it is a folding. It is the name of the structure. Okay, it is a folding, right? Now that will be, so everybody has given me the answer, a microvilli, right? So you should know that villi is a small finger-like projections. This is the one helps us to increase the surface area of the stomach. Sorry, in the large intestine. Surface area that will be necessary for the process of absorption in case of small intestine. Which hormone stimulates the release of gastric juices? See, gastrin, secretin, these are all the hormones, name of the hormone. You should know. See, we have different types of cell in the stomach. We have a P cell, C cell, oxyntic cell, all these cells. So these are all the cells gives rise to a different hormones. Okay. See, that will be a gastrin. So this is a hormone, stimulates the secretion of gastric juice in the stomach. Okay. Now, what is the function of bile in stomach? Kindly revise the PPT which sir has sent you. Okay, so there will be exact information. If you study the PPT, that will be sufficient. Okay, the question will not go beyond that PPT. So you can revise that PPT also. For revision, you can use this PPT. Okay, what is the function of bile means? You know, obviously the process of emulsification. Okay. Which part of a digestive system absorbs most of the water from undigested food? That will be large intestine. Okay, now which enzyme breaks down fats? Very good, lipase. What is the main absorption site for glucose? Main absorption site for glucose will be the small intestine. Okay, we have a lot of transmitter. Sorry, GLUT. GLUT 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we have lot of transporters regarding this glucose, for these glucose. Okay, that will be present in the intestine. So if you have a time, you can check what is the purpose of having GLUT 1, 2, 3, and these GLUT 3 will be involved in absorption of glucose and it will be sent to the neuron that will be present in the nerve cells. So for these transporters, we have a different function. If you have time, just go through it. And which nutrient requires intrinsic factor for its absorption? Which nutrient requires intrinsic factor? So all these questions will be present in all these statements will be present in the search PPT. So make use of that. It's actually an important question too. Yeah, very good. That will be vitamin B12. So it requires an intrinsic factor. See, that will be produced by the stomach. Okay, this stomach is the one going to produce the intrinsic factor, and this intrinsic factor is necessary for the absorption of this particular vitamin B12. Okay, and if the vitamin B12 is find deficient in a particular person, it leads to which disease? If Vitamin B, very good. And most particularly pernicious anemia, right? What process allows water to the absorbed in the intestines? Water to be absorbed in the intestines. Which process? Whether it will be the active transport or osmosis facilitated diffusion. No point of having any confusion here. That will be obviously osmosis. Where are chylomicrons found? That will be small intestine. What is the role of hepatic portal vein? Very good. Which mineral is crucial for oxygen transport in the blood? Which mineral is crucial for oxygen transport in the blood? That will be iron. No point of having confusion there. Which vitamin is synthesized by bacteria in large intestine? An important question. Yeah, iron will be the answer. Very good. That will be the vitamin K. See, an important question is this. See, vitamin K is synthesized by the gut bacteria. There will be a lot and lots of good bacteria which will inhabit in our large intestine. And that bacteria is essential. See, this bacteria is the one synthesizing the vitamin K. And this vitamin K is very, very, very essential for blood clotting. Okay. So this will be an important question. Just make a note of that. What are micelles? It's somewhat related to lipids. That will be aggregates of bile salts and the lipids. Okay, that see micelles are the aggregates of these bile salts and lipids. Why it have to aggregate means that facilitate the absorption of the fats in the small intestine. Now, which hormone stimulates bile secretion? We have 6 more minutes. Quick. Yeah, very good. That will be cholecystokinin because these are all the hormones that will be related to the stomach. Okay, this will be related to the pancreas, and this is the one related to the bile secretion. Okay, so this is the one stimulating the gallbladder. It is this is the one release the bile into the small intestine. Okay, it's just a stimulation. Now, which type of fiber is most effective at lowering blood cholesterol levels? To reduce the blood cholesterol, which fiber is important? Which fiber is essential? Whether it has to be insoluble or soluble, and cellulose or lignin. Four more minutes, and we have a lot question to discuss. Quick. Okay. See, soluble fiber. Why we have a cellulose? We don't have cellulase enzyme to digest the cellulose first thing. Okay, see, we don't have, see, that is why if we eat a paper or plastic polythene cover and if we eat that, we can't digest these because of the absence of this particular cellulase enzyme. Okay, so this is somewhat related to plants. See, if the blood cholesterol level has to be reduced, definitely the fiber has to be soluble. Okay, that is effective. See, soluble fiber binds to the cholesterol in the digestive system. See, if it binds to the cholesterol, it's somewhat involving in the digestion of cholesterol. So, if there is no soluble fiber, the cholesterol will be stagnant in the skin. So, it leads to the reduced heart rate. Okay, heart effect, and it also it results in many complications. So sorry for this, and this, just remember that this is somewhat related to the disorder. What condition is caused by the backflow of stomach acid into the esophagus? This is somewhat called as a reflux disease. Okay, gastroesophageal reflux disease. See, this is the one occurs when stomach acid frequently flow back into the stomach. So what here exactly what it is getting affected here means the peristaltic movement is getting affected. If there is no process of having a peristalsis, definitely the food has been not prevented from the backflow. So it has to be from transported from the stomach to the esophagus. So it results in the gastroesophageal reflux disease. Okay. Now, which condition is characterized by inflammation of the small intestine due to gluten sensitivity? So these are all the questions related to the disorder when anything, if anything happens in the digestion, if it anything not happen properly in the digestion, it results in some sort of disorder, and the questions will be related to that. 2 more minutes. Inflammation of small intestine due to gluten sensitivity will always be results in the celiac disease. It is an autoimmune disorder. Okay, if you ingest a gluten, it leads to the damage of the small intestine. It results in the celiac disease. Okay, and which organ is affected by hepatitis? So always the word hepatitis will be related to the liver. Okay, now, so it is the hepatitis is an inflammation that will be caused by the virus. Okay, so what is the primary cause of peptic ulcers? This is an important thing you have to remember. The most famous question actually, this question is, we have studied this from our 12th standard. That will be a Helicobacter pylori, that will be a bacteria. Okay, now which deficiency is causing the scurvy means we know that vitamin C will be the answer. And what is lactose intolerance? Lactose intolerance. 1 more minute, kindly answer quickly. That will be inability to digest the lactose. So which disorder is characterized by chronic inflammation of the digestive tract? Chronic inflammation of the digestive tract will be the Crohn's disease. See, it is a type of inflammatory bowel disease, that is IBD. It causes the chronic inflammation of the digestive tract. So, okay. See, for tomorrow, you have to read and come the hormones, the most important unit in the physiology. So you have to read and come the endocrinology and the reproduction. Okay, tomorrow the same time will be tomorrow. Okay, and if you have any doubts, you can ask me now. And you have to go through the remaining questions. Okay, 3 more question is there. Just read that. And if you find any doubts, you can post me in the group and you can ask me at any time. Okay. And if you are clear, just leave the class or else just stay.